Kila siku niko mahangaikoni, mteja patikani, manze namba isomi. Hizi street daily tuko mamishoni, tunawabeba kama zile feri za Likoni. Kila siku niko mahangaikoni, mteja patikani, manze namba isomi. Hizi street daily tuko mamishoni, tunawabeba kama zile feri za Likoni. Kila siku niko mahangaikoni, mahangaikoni. Kila siku niko mahangaikoni, mahangaikoni. Kila siku niko mahangaikoni, mahangaikoni. Kila siku niko mahangaikoni, mahangaikoni.
Hits na mabanga like bang, roadblock imeja mambanga like damn. Switch lanes vile niliwaondokea. It's like we are the only ones rapping out here. Ghetto fabulous for 20 niko East Lando. They can handle us for than nime reach bado. Ni wakukamile design wa overdo. Usidai kubamba cruise kiza usilete udesperado. Hey, city to city, my ex wanna retweet it. Na nikifika scene dili shageuka ni biggie. No nitty gritty, check the analytics. Hata tupe watano taga wana 50-50 family code. 100% respect, how it is bro. You try to sabotage, how far, how did it go? The stone that the builder refused. Now it's brick after brick, voice na biti confused.
Kila siku niko mahangaikoni, mteja patikani, manze namba isomi. Hizi street daily tuko mamishoni, tunawabeba kama zile feri za Likoni. Kila siku niko mahangaikoni, mteja patikani, manze namba isomi. Hizi street daily tuko mamishoni, tunawabeba kama zile feri za Likoni.
Yeah, force na kosi inafanya wanawika woi. Si ati ni jokes, mi ndo reason rappers watu boy. But of course, hizi pande wananita moi. Kumamake ndio manake na kuja simple boy. Nairobi ni mahangaiko, ndio reason nimefanya sindi mavinyangariko. Pale Malaya huku wezi kila pande tuko juu ya pesa imefanya manze jiji ina vituko. Stone face ni kanye rigichi, ikifikia ni bidii. Tunajituma tukikanyaga mpaka CBD. Na kumvuka TBT, hizi shida shigidi. Zilifanya mamoyo wakageuka mapididi. But anyway ni juu ya kukosa cheda na kadhalika. Tukiongeza na vitu kama meda masa imefika. Hakuna gethya kulala my brother juu utazikwa ukishikwa ukipiga na ngeta.
Kila siku niko mahangaiko, patikani, manze namba
Rising.
hizi street daily tuko
Good afternoon.
tunawabeba kama zile feri.
Happy new week.
Kila siku niko
You had a beautiful weekend.
patikani, manze namba isomi. Hizi street daily tuko mamishoni, tunawabeba kama zile feri za Likoni. Skiza punch na kick ile tekea.
Yeah, karibuni sana. That is a Sano Afrocentric playing right here on the media of the 21st century, featuring Caterpillar and the one and only Elisha Lai. The name of the jam is called Mahangaikoni. Literally means suffering here and there as you hustle, which is actually a norm or something that is actually expected in life. Life is not easy. It has its own ups and downs, and whoever promised you it's gonna be easy literally lied to you. But it's exactly 26 minutes past 2 p.m. Hope you had a beautiful weekend. Mine was fantastic. Can't complain. But shout out to everyone who's just tuning in for the first time, whether on BitChute, on YouTube, for those who are with us, returning listeners on the radio station, Spreaker, Spotify, karibuni sana. My name is Joby, and this is the Pan African Bliss. We're going to be talking, of course, about what has been happening during the weekend, including where we can see Ghana making bold moves, literally, and which we know this could threaten, of course, people like Macron, people like Trump, and the rest. We don't need to mention them, but we know that whole board of that class of people, how they get threatened every time Africa says or is trying to move towards anything that literally threatens the independency or their fake independency. So yes, Ghana is actually looking forward to withdraw from ECOWAS. We're going to be talking about that. And of course, we had one of the representatives from Ghana who was in the Alliance Sahel state, and they were discussing about how they are looking forward to move and collaborate together. More coming as we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be looking at how recently we saw them launching literally local manufacturing processing companies, if I'm not wrong, and that this, of course, is creating job opportunities. We also saw them literally owning or saying that they're going to be taking control of their gold resources, literally mineral resources, specifically gold. So much moving even into coffee. I think they said they're not going to be exporting coffee. They're going to be literally processing it all there. So we're going to be discussing on that. And then look at also the scramble of Africa, because we know it's happening. So as much as African countries want to do this, we have to understand again, how well prepared are we? Making these moves, we have to be again, clever. We need to have strategy. We can't just move because we can see Ibrahim Traore has already set a table for you. No, you need to have a strategy too. What do you want for your country? How do you want your country to move? And understanding how you're threatening the West. How are you willing to actually fight back in case there's any war which is going to be actually imposed on your people and leading to destabilization where they call in again for peace? But yes, karibuni sana. I'm going to be starting with an interesting video from the son of the one and only Idi Amin. I love the way he's always so brutal with Israel and all that. But karibu sana, Keith, how are you doing?
Well, Asante Sana, Joby. I hope your weekend was okay.
How was yours?
I didn't,
Mine
I didn't have one. Shit.
sorry about that.
I had one. I was in South Florida Friday. And we're over here in Central Texas. So you guys know how big America is, you know. So from Florida all the way to Central Texas, that's a long fucking way. So, yeah, so you guys don't know, Europeans are starting to lose power. So that can't be, as I've always taught you guys, and through Dr. John A. Clark, European whole goal was them to steal the world and freeze it the way they stole it. That they have white people on top and black on the bottom forever, globally. See, that's what you're going to, people that say, what is white supremacy? What is that? I don't even know what that means. I don't understand. But let me explain it to you understand it. So you know, when you understand this, you know how the world works all over. It's to keep white people on top, put the wealth and resources, put a couple other goopy races like this, like the goddamn Arabs and the fucking Chinese Arabs and Indians in the middle, but black on the bottom. And blacks would be the servants of the planet. Okay? That's what it means. For white, they meant to steal the world and then freeze it as they stole it. So whenever I ask me, I don't understand. Why do you say white supremacy? So when you married into this beast,
Sorry.
you're destroying your own. When you're marrying into these people, you're destroying your own power. You just subjugated yourself. We said, what does it matter? Love is love. Love is not love. That's a moron talking. You're gonna birth the same people that hate your ass. What kind of craziness is this? See, that's why you got to be taught that. Child even to raise within the school. You got to be taught this. Go ahead, Joey. That's
History, very important. So let me start with this video of again, he's questioning why do we have this group of people always pushing religion, actually a fake religion that is supposed to be theirs, you know, on people who actually had their own religion. Like Africans, literally, we know we were not into this fake religion that is currently being practiced, but were more spiritual, which they erased all that and brought that's why I say I bumped into a video last week which was saying that it's crazy that most people don't know that their time coming to an end that is written in the Revelation, time coming to an end is actually them, their era. Again, we go back to how their birth rate is actually declining and all that. So much literally hidden in between.
But why do you want to impose your religious claims on people who are not of your religion? That religious intolerance is the reason why there can be no peace. Why else is Israel and its allies secretly pursuing the dangerous Greater Israel project if that is not imposing one religion on everyone in the region? If you say your religion gave you land, why do you want to impose that on the indigenous people who are not of your religion? Why do you want to impose your religious claims on the whole world, including on the entire international order? The majority of the world does not believe in your religion or its claims.
Yeah, because number one, I feel like even what is happening currently in Kenya, and I bet majority of the countries out there going in and building these projects they're building is in the name of religion. Or, you know, we are Israel, you know, this is where blah, 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 the Bible, blah, blah, blah. And of course, Africans being Africans, you give away your lands without understanding what actually or who you're dealing with. I don't know if, because I feel like still so many people don't understand how.
They don't. You're poorly. They don't. You guys have been poorly educated on purpose. That's why you got school fees. So how you got school fees? They ain't got no damn jobs. How does that even make any sense?
Crazy.
In fact, if we ask God right now to confirm what you are claiming, it would be silence. So he didn't say it. The U.S. ambassador's recent statement about this Greater Israel project shows that the U.S.'s talk about peace is actually just a maneuver towards that heinous ultimate Greater Israel goal as they prepare for battle. The U.S. National Security Strategy document recently put in writing America's non-participation in any anti-Russia doctrine, the Western policy that led to the war in Ukraine today, and now they pretend that they are innocent. Why are they not assuming their evil intent? And why isn't there anything similar against the Greater Israel project in that same U.S. National Security Strategy document? A project which is the reason why Israel has instigated wars to destroy all the nations of the region using full support, weaponry, and billions of dollars in foreign aid from its allies. This matter is the big evil that Europe and America must stop hiding behind. It's the doctrine behind the fallacy of the fight against terrorism, Islamist terrorists that they themselves actually sponsor all over the region.
Exactly. Because everybody should know now. All your goofy terrorists, all these fake ass puppets get that we fight terrorism. You should know terrorism are backed by is not real in America. Who controls America? That is not real through the Rothschilds. Okay? I ain't funny. The Rothschilds are all in the Epstein files, and they're the ones behind all this shameful. But I already knew that. I know them owning the banks, that they're behind all this shit, all the terrorism. Boko Haram, Al Shabaab, ISIS, Al Qaeda, whatever goofy new name they give them. They're the ones funding the shit. Good.
February 2025 in the U.S. Congress hearing. The world needs to take the bull by its horns and condemn this hideous demonism. It is grounded on barbarity and injustice because one group from Europe wants to impose the claims of the Jewish religion on everyone in the region who happen to be the indigenous people of the Middle East practicing their own other faith. That is dangerous Jewish intolerance, especially when we know that the implementation of this Greater Israel project means that Israel and its accomplices will perpetuate another genocidal Holocaust or ethnic cleansing and mass killings to achieve this barbaric goal from medieval times. This project is a product of Western religious hatred, Western religious extremism, and Western religious bigotry on top of Western religious intolerance. Hatred that Israel and its allies are maximally propagating through the media already so as to radicalize their own populations against the people of the Middle East. I urge all the members of the Arab League, the target victims, to get together on this issue and convene an emergency peace and security summit, followed by an urgent meeting of the UN General Assembly, then the Security Council, specifically to condemn this Greater Israel hate project.
That doesn't mean shit.
The US government and Europe,
Pause. We say get the cats with the hats. They created the UN, stupid. So get it with the UN. They created it. That's why it sits on Rockefeller Road. I mean, by Rockefeller land where the UN was built. They created the UN. Cats with the hats. That's why it doesn't do anything. Why the UN has never helped nobody but steal shit. Can't go to the UN to ask for no help. All this other shit you're talking about, everybody knows it. Go ahead.
I'd say whatever he's trying to say about grabbing the bull by the horn is we can't do that. Again, I feel like it's up to, again, this going back to spirituality. The universe has to deal with these people accordingly. And that starts with how we see the birth rate declining. That is one of the way, because they've gone too far. And again, if you go deeper to the discussion, how we've seen them, how they use the babies drinking the
adrenochrome. That's blood. You say blood, drinking the blood, Joe, but they call it adrenochrome.
Yeah,
drinking the blood, eating them.
It's so much evil beyond, again, many people's thinking capacity that, we can't just say we're going to grab the bull by the horn and just do something about it. It's going to be impossible. But again, Israel is known for the same history. Again, it's not like it's the first time. I think last week we were talking about it. We're talking about the old slavery and new slavery. We discussed a little bit about how they are known for the same history of genociding people, stealing lands
Yeah.
because it's even with where they are right now. The history that is not told how they got there. How do we just have some people who are now in some parts that belong to Africa, now it's theirs, you know, and the Africans who even belong there, none of them are even seen. And if they're there, they can't even be seen because the media is not supposed to display or make Black people realize that actually African people are everywhere. So let me share a couple of videos under that. See.
Yeah, a little
Bank
more
and
time
land
there.
grabs from Palestinians. Israel will begin a massive occupation of the West Bank and land grabs from Palestinians, Reuters reports. Will begin a contentious land regulation process on a large part of the occupied West Bank, which could result in gaining control over wide swaths of the area for future development. This is true. They recently passed a law that makes all of the West Bank purchasable for. Yeah, I heard they're selling these homes to. They're just old Palestinian homes, and they're just taking them. That is horrible.
I just find it very hard to believe.
They walk in and just tell them to get out. They've been doing it for 70 years. I want this home. Get out. That's
You
why
don't see Israel
Kenya,
it's crazy.
Kenya, we're going there if you're not careful.
as an expansionist state.
Here's the issue. This is what it's like.
Look, Kenyans know. Look on TikTok. There's a video. Something they know. The Kenyans tell you the whole thing. They show Kenya with a new name called Israel. They got a little bitty part by the coast called Kenya, and a little bitty part on the Ugandan border called Kenya, where the majority of Kenya is now written as Israel.
Wow, crazy.
Yeah.
Like saying Israel is an expansion state, okay? Imagine I've got a friend who's murdered 4 people, all right? Or 4 people. And everybody claims your friend is a murderer. He's just looking for.
I don't care if you believe that Palestinians are indigenous to the land of Palestine.
Or you believe
that
God
does
gave
not
you the
mean
land.
they get to have their own country within the current country
Yes,
of Israel.
it does. It's
Let
their
me
land.
explain. Almost every single country in the world was conquered. Canada was colonized by the French and British. The land
colonized.
was taken from the native Inuits and Métis. In no way, shape, or form are the Inuits allowed to create their own country
So you
within
accept you
Canada
are
because
colonized
they
as
were
settlers.
indigenous. Australia was colonized by the British, and the land was taken from the indigenous Aboriginals.
Take it.
Are they allowed to have their own country within Australia? Southern
She's
Australia
using
is
white
now going to
supremacy
be a
to
new
justify
country because
Jewish
they were
supremacy.
indigenous.
Yeah.
No,
They-
that is
of
not
course
the way
they-
the world works.
Of course, they justify their stealing. They don't believe they believe they'll steal your shit and they keep it. Unless you can be, listen, for them, might makes right. If you're weak and feckless, then you get your land up. But shout out to Africans who had to fight, even though you still didn't really get control of your country back because they put puppet morons in there and put banking, but they couldn't fight you anymore because they didn't have the numbers. That's why you got all these BACCINEs and all this other shit that was unleashed on Africa, the AIDS, and all this other shit to lower your numbers because they couldn't really fight you no more. Not no hand-to-hand shit because they didn't have the numbers. And so militarily, that's why you're breaking their backs. They don't want you to know that. See, South Africa didn't get free because some goopy South African was talking, but because Angola was warring on their ass and breaking their back. Militarily. That's all they understand is force. And while they said, yeah, we came and stole Australia from the niggas, so what? They don't get to build a country inside our country that we stole from them. That's what she said about Israel. Israel came and stole that, and that's right. So Palestine don't get no right to build no country inside the country. That's the way it is. We steal your shit, and you lay down, and you stay laid down. That's what I said. And that's what they want to continue. Be open about it again. That's why they're running back into Africa again. Because you got soft. You don't know your history. You know you had to fight these people. Fight them. You couldn't talk. Couldn't walk around and protest. You had the war. Go ahead, Joe.
You mean the white
In
ones?
1948, the Jews fought a war against the
when the
Arabs
Brits
and
gave you the
Palestinians
land.
on the land. The
They
Jews
fought a war,
won
that's all
that
right.
war.
Oh, you
I don't care
stole
if we were
that.
indigenous. I don't care that Palestinians were
You are
indigenous.
indigenous to
It is
Europe.
our land. It is now
It's
a country.
not.
No
It's
other
not your
country
land.
in the world
See,
is accepting.
they see, now pause it. The Africans are the ones that fight a war and don't get their land back. Zimbabwe fought a war and won, and the white people still kept their land. South Africa had a war with Angola, lost. White people still got the land. They say they do wars, but they keep your land. As that white lady said, we had a war in 1948, and we kept the land. Africans the only one that fight wars. It's like the Mau Mau. The Mau Mau won that war, but the white people kept the land in Kenya. Africans are only people that fight wars and don't get the land back that was stolen from them. Africans didn't steal nobody's shit. People came and stole their shit. Africans won these wars and still didn't get their land back. Make that make sense.
It's crazy.
But these white, go ahead, Joe.
Today I was watching a very disturbing video of two Chinese men who I think somewhere along Nakuru, Naivasha Road, those sides. And I think some Kenyans stole their bags. I don't know how that happened. The whole story is not clear. But
stole their bags?
Yeah. So one of the guys was reacting to the video saying that how dare Kenyans react this way? They were even beating them. They were beating those guys, saying that they steal their wives. They deserve everything they're getting because they always are snatching wives. So I went through the comment section and everyone was abusing actually Kenyans and defending the Chinese guys. I'm like, man, again, this is how bad miseducation is and lack of exposure, because and dig deeper and see the racism, how black people are treated in China, literally. The few people who get maybe the love and all that, it's not even love. It's I'd say it's some sort of like racism, but in some shallow way, because you'll always find some Chinese or these Japanese people, all of them, these Asians, always being amazed or faced by seeing a black person in their country. So it's not like, that's a wow thing,
They want to know what you doing. Are you just business? Don't put your ass and live. I get the guy, the Japanese guy. Being openly say, yeah, I'm racist. I want all you black people out of Japan. Don't tell me about your hard work. If you work hard, go back and build your own fucked up country. He telling you honestly, why are you always running? He's going to say Japanese guys talking about black people being in this country. He's telling you, I don't worry about you working hard. Go work hard in your own country. Build that up. You say you work hard, go build your own shit. If you work so hard, go build your own backward ass shit up. Don't keep telling us that you're of value to our country. Don't be of value to your own country. Stop running. People start telling you Africans, stop running away from your countries. Stop being cowards in your own lands. They don't want you there, Joby said. That man said, yeah, we don't want you here. Don't tell us about your goddamn your value here. Don't be of value to your own country. My God damn.
Can you see the video?
Yeah, is that it? Let me see. Let me see if that's it. That might be it. I don't think that's him. I think that right there. I think that might be it right there, I guess. I don't know. You got no sound though.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Let me reshare my screen again. Just a minute.
And then people always run. They want when you get to some place. So you run here because we're developed. Yeah, tell the truth. You run here because we're developed. You think we don't know that? You think you're not here because we're developed and your country sucks? Don't develop your own. Look, that's what he's saying. Don't develop your own goddamn country.
Pharaoh better not hear this if he's listening. Goddamn, he's gonna come
Who better not hear it?
The Pharaoh guy. That Pharaoh guy. You better not hear that.
More than anyone else, we go back to your country. But you don't hear black people get said, hey, go back to Africa. They already know of them as African American. Maybe because most of us are first generation immigrants.
A lot of our friends, their parents are from like the same district or village that their ancestors are from. It's so close to the root. We're not that far removed. This kind of goes to not fully fitting into this white-black dichotomy we have in America. Because as an Asian American, sometimes you just either
He's an
lean into
Asian.
white culture
No,
or
I'm
black
not.
culture or
He's
mixture.
an Asian American. I'm talking about somebody from Asia, somebody Japanese, Joe, but Japanese.
When it comes to
Yeah, I did.
That's a big. Those are Asians in America. I'm talking about the Japanese in Japan. The Japanese man in Japan.
That's what I typed.
They say Japanese. No, so they say Japanese man in Japan. Say specifically, because the Japanese man in Japan tells Africans to go home. Japanese man in Japan.
There is a whole culture there that really, if you're going to go to Japan, do your research, because it's not Kansas. When asked why some visitors feel Japan's rules are too strict, he calmly replied, "Yes, it is, but you don't have to come here." The interviewer pushed further, asking if people who dislike the rules should avoid Japan entirely. The man doubled down without hesitation and answered yes, making his stance unmistakably clear. He explained that strict rules are part of how Japan maintains peace, safety, and social harmony.
Very strict. Very strict in Japan. Go ahead, Joe.
It's not like Africa we're not peaceful. The people actually who are causing lack of peace is the same people, the same countries, literally, because they want our mineral resources. Africa is very peaceful. So and the fact that there's a paint of Africa always lacking peace, this is because those are political agendas, and that's what they want to push, so that they can come and keep on looking for resources. It's not like Africa is Japan. Come on. Then you go stay in Japan. Don't come to Africa too if it's so peaceful. God damn it.
Visitors are welcome only if they respect Japanese culture and the way that their society functions. He even added that those who do respect it are.
But the Africans don't ever do that when the foreigners come in and do the fuck they want to do. Well, you got Chinatowns and they get busted in the head. Japan is saying, you're gonna come here, you're gonna do shit up. There will be no little Kenyas, there will be no little Nigerias, there won't be none of that shit. You'll conform to Japanese customs and cultures. If you don't like it, get the fuck out.
Are welcome to come and enjoy Japan. Have a beer with him. The clip shocked the interviewer, but resonated with many viewers who saw it as a simple common sense. And that's the thing. If you're going to live, doesn't matter, Japan, Philippines, anywhere, any country you're going to go to where you're the fish out of water, it's not upon the country to accommodate you. It's upon you to adjust to the local
Africans
culture.
Nobody adjusts to African culture because they're weak. Nobody adjusts to these niggas. They're so what? Fuck them. We do what the fuck we want to do up in here. And the Africans tolerate it. Japanese don't. I can never live in Japan. I lived there. I would never live there permanently. I'm not Japanese. Their culture is strict. Their culture to me is goofy. A lot of goofy shit there. But now you Africans are trying to flee over there and think you're going to bring your culture there. They told you no. You're not bringing none of that shit. They don't want none of your fucked up food, they say. They don't want none of your music. They don't want none of it there. They go back to your country. Don't come tell us you work hard. Don't work hard in your own country. Go work hard there.
And if you don't like it, leave. Go to a place where you do.
I just got a very disturbing news from Japan. If you are an African living in Japan, especially Cameroonians, Nigerians, Congolese, Ghanaians, Kenyans, and many others.
Kenyans, all of you. All of you. Don't just say say black. Not the white Arabs, the black Africans. They tell you to get the fuck out. Go ahead, Joker.
Hear me clearly. Your insurance card is not for decoration. Yes, that insurance card in your wallet is not for decoration. Please prioritize your health. In case you don't know, every single month, money is deducted from your salary for health insurance, whether you use it or not. Yet, when you get sick, you don't go to the hospital. Instead, you run to drugstores, buy over-the-counter medicine, and suppress symptoms. No.
That's Japan, lady. You're not even in Japan. Shut up about their health care. If go people there, go do the health. Shut the fuck up. You're not in Japan.
The hometowns of Africans from 4 countries: Nigeria, Tanzania, Ghana, and Mozambique.
This might be controversial. I live in London, and it's such a diverse city with people all over the world. But honestly, Sometimes the safety situation feels pretty bad. The challenge is when cultures and traditions are so different, it can be really hard to understand each other. Even for Japanese people living in Japan, it can be tough. So for foreigners, I think it's even more like...
And I put like this, Japanese people, poses. Joby can't tell you, Japanese people don't even like Chinese people in Japan. They don't like when Chinese people come to Japan and bring their shit. The Japanese say, absolutely not. Don't bring none of that Chinese shit over here. If you know Japan, you know I'm telling you the factual truth. Japan said, don't you bring none of that Chinese shit over here. Don't bring none of that Chinese shit here in Japan. We don't like it. We won't tolerate it. So not just the Africans, because the Chinese are a little bit more culturally similar to Japan. And they don't even want them over there. Hey, get that Chinese shit out of here. Go ahead, Joby.
Let me share this one.
You see, unfortunately, Japan, you are no longer welcome in Japan. Yeah, cancel that girls trip. You see, unfortunately, Japan, similar to many other countries right now, are entering a very far-right, anti-foreigner stage in their society right now. And well, they are absolutely taking it to the max. To be specific, this far-right movement within Japan has actually been sweeping the nation over the past year, but it's only been amplified due to the influx of tourists. Now, Japan and many other Asian countries are infamous for not being too kind to foreigners, but there has been a mass increase of reports from foreigners within Japan detailing the increased racism that they are experiencing because of the rise of the far right. Many shops are now flat out putting signs saying no foreigners, no black people, Japanese only, which was once a regularity but is now becoming the normality. And of course, as you can imagine, some people have actually called the police in these instances, and of course the police don't do anything. This is not West. So please, if you are a foreigner or someone that is obviously not Japanese and you're planning to go to Japan, be aware of this new fact. Be aware of the socio-politics that's clearly happening and affecting the country.
Exactly. Beware the racism. Hey, African people, you're always running. Beware when you get to Japan. Yes, it's modern, it's developed. Develop your own shit. Grow up as people. Develop your own shit. Learn to build toilets, houses, roads. Develop your own shit. Japan is, and you get all this racism. Yeah, Japanese people are very racist. I'm just being honest with you.
We'll develop our own shit, but we also need these people to leave our country.
How about that? Then you better do that. Then you better stop being weak. Stop having a backbone. Yeah.
You wouldn't tell me to just develop my own shit while you're stealing shit from my country to develop your own shit. So my country too.
Well, you don't want. You don't want to let me do it. So.
Tit for tat. Let it be a reciprocation of energy here. You know, get out. I want to develop my own shit, and you leave my country alone, and your people too. You go live there, and don't you dare come knocking for shit because you said we should handle our shit. So that's what we're gonna do. But looking at people who are handling their shit, we have Ghana. Ghana recently has been making very, very bold moves, and I want us to talk about that as well. I want to share these videos.
I don't trust Ghana because Ghana might be a backdoor. Because remember, Ghana's got French troops there, and if I become part of AES, don't trust them. Let them in, but don't trust them because they might be the way. They might be a spy. Yeah, understand how white people work, guys. They pick some bootleg country. Ghana's always been a bootleg country since the murder of the first president, getting rid of his ass, Kwame Nkrumah. There's always been a bootleg country. So them talking about, oh, now we're going to join the Sahel state. But they got an American base there. They got French troops there. So they're going to, you'll make it easier now that you open your borders to these people, and they'll bring the destabilization in from there. They're spies. Other Ghanaian people be spies for the French and Americans. So just be careful. Understand how Europeans work. You'll think that, they're trying to join the AES and this and it's all a fake hoax by the Mossad and the CIA to infiltrate you and overthrow your ass. Remember, at the end of the day, you need to learn this. They never stop. These shit they doing in Cuba, they've been trying to get Cuba since before I was born. They never stop. Go ahead, Joe.
So I'm saying it could be maybe they're making these positive changes just to win the trust of the Alliance Sahel states, like localizing, the gold, building all these local companies and all that. Let's
Well, that right there is good. They need that. That's good.
And friends of Africa around the world. Today is Saturday, February 21st, 2026, and this is the United States of Africa. My name is Akosua Prempe, and I am broadcasting from the United States of Africa. In today's special report, we bring you an important address delivered at the Made in Ghana Tree Crops Investment Summit and Exhibition 2026, where President John Dramani Mahama unveiled a bold vision for Ghana's green economy and agricultural transformation. This is not just another summit.
Pause that. You see they telling that green nonsense? And then you got Marco Rubio call that shit bullshit. Why the Africans some of that this green economy? That's that global warming bullshit. So you know they're in the hands of the West, the Europeans. You wouldn't be mentioning no shit like that. And our green economy. Always catch the subtle things they're saying. It's a puppet state. Go ahead, Joby.
Economic reset, a move away from exporting raw cocoa beans and unprocessed agricultural products toward building local processing industries.
Pause again. I remember when Joby and they were in a place called Slipaway a couple years ago in Tanzania. It's a mall. And they went by this chocolate shop. It's the funniest thing. When Joby was out there touring the air, you remember you guys went to Slipaway Mall, Joby?
Yeah, I remember.
Okay, so there's a chocolate. See, they ate at the little fish thing, the little fish, the seafood restaurant out there. They ate there. Right across from there, there's a little chocolate store. I've been there years ago. I've been there years. A little chocolate store right there, right? I'm only bringing this over because I mentioned cocoa. There's a chocolate store, and I went in there years ago. That's how they got things. I told Mitch about that before I told Spikes him about that, about Slipper. But anyway, that was years ago. There's a chocolate shop still there. And I went in there. I mean, beautiful. Chocolates all wrapped up all nice. I said, hey, where are these chocolates from? No, only chocolates come from Africa. So where are these chocolates from? Oh, they're from Belgium. We ship them back in from Belgium. I was like, wow. I'm in Africa, and I'm getting chocolate from Belgium who has no goddamn chocolate. See, remember, because you were shipping all your shit to Belgium so they can make the finished goods and make the money. I'm sitting there, so I asked the lady, I said, you know Belgium don't have any cocoa fields. They're from Africa. The lady told me, right, with a straight face, I don't know nothing about that. God damn. I said, listen, this place is beautiful. I said, there's a black person who's own the place? He said, yeah, but Rwandan, no, there's a Rwandan mixed with a white person. Oh, it's a mixed person. So most likely they're white. So, I said, okay. I said, but hey, the place is awesome. I'm just saying African people. People come back and play in your face. Like I said, the cocoa, chocolate comes from Africa. You're supposed to be making the shit. They're supposed to be shit back in from fucking Europe. It doesn't have any cocoa. From Belgium and Switzerland and America. There's no cocoa fields in America. There's no cocoa fields in Europe. So how are all the chocolate companies in Europe and America? This is what we're talking about. The rape that you've been allowing to happen. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, it's crazy. We'll continue.
Jobs for youth, empowering women, and strengthening Ghana's position within the African Continental Free Trade Area. The president speaks about diversifying beyond cocoa into cashew, coconut, oil palm, rubber, mango, and shea. He outlines plans for local processing, a 24-hour production economy, and major investments to make Ghana a net exporter of value-added products rather than...
That's right, chocolate. But hold on. Ghana to do this, okay, like every African country, Ghana, you got to keep the lights on. You're going to do this. You got to keep the lights on.
regional security concerns affecting cross-border agricultural trade and emphasizes the need for resilience in a volatile global market. This message is bigger than Ghana. It speaks to Africa's long-standing struggle with exporting wealth in raw form while importing finished goods at higher prices.
That's what I said, the chocolate. Like I said, the chocolate is simple way importing the finished chocolate from Belgium. And I gotta pay a high price for some chocolate that comes out of Africa. Shit's crazy.
I encourage you to subscribe to United States of Africa TV, like this video, comment, and share it across.
Longer news that the Western-led institution, the International Monetary Fund, has done more harm than good to African countries. Since independence, the IMF has advocated economic policies that would supposedly boost African economies. But despite the implementation of these policies, African economies have gone from bad to...
Okay, now understand it, them being who they are. They couldn't fight you no more hand to hand because they didn't have enough their population. So that's when they create your fake banking scams to keep you in the same position on the bottom. IMF, the World Bank were never built to help any African countries. As Joby showed the German, they are specifically built to keep white on top and black on the bottom. Black on the bottom. That's their job. Okay? Let's be honest about things. Go ahead, Joby.
Worse. It's no surprise then that some African countries have begun to reject the IMF policies. One such country in recent times is Ghana. The newly elected president of Ghana has decided to scrap several taxes advocated by the IMF, which the administration of former President Akufo-Addo implemented. This decision is similar to moves made by the authorities in Egypt, as well as the president of Burkina Faso. The question is, why are these countries rejecting the IMF policy?
Pause it, because the IMF, the question ain't none of that. Actually, why did the IMF get mad when Ghana's currency started to rival the dollar? Why did they tell Ghana they better stop it? Because you're supposed to be on the bottom. Remember, everything was designed in white on top and black on the bottom, and to freeze it that way. Why is the IMF not happy if Ghana's currency is now as good as the United States? Why are they mad about that? Because you fuck up the order. You niggas are supposed to be on the bottom and forever. You understand that? Go ahead, Joe.
Policies. What harms have these policies inflicted on the ordinary citizens of these countries? Let's find out. The former administration of Akufo-Addo left a bleeding economy deep in a severe debt crisis for the new administration. The inflation rate is ridiculously high. Debt burden has increased. The currency has depreciated, and the economic hardship is severe on ordinary Ghanaian citizens. Overall, Ghana is currently facing its worst economic crisis in decades. This is the situation that the former president left for President Mahama's administration to quickly fix. In a move to ease the burden on citizens, Mahama's administration announced a few days ago that it has scrapped several COVID-era taxes imposed on the citizens. These taxes were enforced by the former government of Akufo-Addo in a bid to secure IMF funding. According to the finance minister, Cassiel Atto-Forson, 5 taxes deemed nuisance levies by the current government, including a 1% levy on mobile money transfers and a value-added tax on motor vehicle insurance, are being canceled. He made this announcement while presenting the 2025 economic budget. According to the finance minister, we inherited an economy in deep crisis, hard hit with debt, and beset by other fiscal challenges such as large accumulation of arrears, energy sector financing shortfalls, and large fiscal risks from the cocoa and financial sectors. However, with the economy in distress partly due to debt mismanagement and financing shortfall, concerns are now being raised on how the new government can close the resulting revenue shortfall from scraping the taxes. But the authorities have stated that Ghanaians are already...
That's how they keep you that fake paper debt so they can get your real resources. Give you fake paper debt so they can get the shit that's real. So the paper don't build shit, the paper don't make chocolate, paper don't make cocoa, paper don't make coffee, paper don't make this. That's to get your real, paper make cobalt, diamonds, gold. They want your real resources. They want to put you in debt. And now you got to give them away for nothing. So that keeps you poor. But they get your real resources and makes them wealthy. And they get to manufacture your shit. Because they don't got nothing in Europe to manufacture. All comes out the ground in Africa. But it gives them jobs. It makes their people have jobs, and you run around don't have no job, impoverished. Because you understand, you're supposed to have manufacturing in Africa. You take shit out the ground and you make shit with it. That you got in Africa, it only makes sense that you start putting it on a boat or a train and ship it to Europe or China or someplace in fucking Asia, Japan, so they can make shit and you not develop. Reason why you not developed, because all your shit has been going all over the world and you have not built manufacturing so you can develop Africa. Africa don't need nobody to come and build no roads, no Chinese. Nobody build shit for. Because all the materials that need to be built anything are in Africa. So Africa doesn't need to go shit from nowhere else to build. That's why I told you, African development, that's why Ibn Traore can build Burkina Faso in 2 years, because all the shit is in Africa. Africa can almost develop overnight. Overnight! Because you know why? Because all that shit is there. Overnight, Africa can become a first world country. That's why everybody's trying to stop that. Overnight. All of Africa can be first world in 2 years. You know why? Because all the shit is there. Africa don't need to import nothing from nobody. The cobalt, coltan, all the building materials, all the lumber, all in Africa today. So why is Africa underdeveloped and the rest of the world is developed? I wonder, could this be the scheme? Is this the scheme? Yes. That they'll take your shit, develop themselves, then also make jobs for themselves off your shit. That's the scheme. Go ahead, Joe.
Struggling with soaring inflation and a depreciating currency. So, removing the taxes will help to reduce their burden a bit. As for the shortfall in revenue, the government has announced that it...
This last shit, so say, put this up, just so this so they've already turned their currency around. Say, put this up on TikTok, say, Ghanaian currency rivals the dollar. Ghanaian currency rivals the dollar. The IMF going crazy. How dare your currency be good? Yeah, means your currency's poor and fucked up. That's the scam. Because they took back their gold and other shit.
Over and over again, the West keeps reminding Africa why it can never be trusted. Take this shocking example. The moment Ghana's currency, the cedi, beat the US dollar to become the top performing currency.
Now pauses. They did this in a year. You know why? Because they took back their gold, their real wealth. They said, no one's going to gold shit but us. No one's going to process gold but us. And so that made their currency go back up to the top and not in the bottom. Like when Joey first showed that video. Oh, God, Ghana's currency is fucked up. They messed up. They say, hey, we're going to take back our own shit and control it. Take back your cocoa, your coffee, your coltan, your cobalt, your gold, your diamonds, your ore, your copper. Take it all back. Your uranium. And guess what? As Africans, you become wealthy. Go ahead, Joe.
In the world. Guess who stepped in with a warning? The IMF.
IMF?
Yes. Instead of celebrating Ghana's progress, the International Monetary Fund accused Ghana of manipulating its currency. Their claim? That the Bank of Ghana has been injecting money into the economy to artificially boost the cedi's value. But here's the million-dollar question. Why should the IMF care about Ghana's success? Is it suddenly a crime for an African currency to rise?
Yes, it's a crime because niggas supposed to be on the bottom. I designed the world. And if I can't get it, I'll beat you niggas. I invade your ass, keep you on the bottom. Understand that? You niggas supposed to be on the bottom. That's what this is about. Go ahead, Joe.
And most importantly, should Ghana listen to the IMF? Or is this just another tool of control disguised as financial advice? Stay with us, because what we're about to uncover will make you question everything you thought you knew about the IMF and its role in Africa.
Why would it question? How about you already figured it out 30 years ago at least? God damn. Why would you question it now? You already know it doesn't work for you as an African person, that it was designed to keep you impoverished. Go ahead, Joe.
Dr. Arikana Chihombori Kwao, former African Union ambassador to the United States, once said something that shook the room. IMF, World Bank, and all these financial institutions make African countries jump through hoops for loans they can never repay. Their survival depends on us failing. Their success is built on our failure.
Exactly.
Strong words, but are they true? Look at what's happening in Ghana right now, and you'll have your answer. Ghana just achieved something historic. For the first time in recent memory, an African currency, the Ghanaian cedi, beat the US dollar to become the world's top performing currency. A moment of pride, right? Something the global financial community should celebrate? Not the IMF. Instead of applauding Ghana's progress, the IMF issued a warning. They accused the Bank of Ghana of manipulating the market, claiming the central bank is injecting money directly into the economy, which is why the cedi is rising. Let that sink in. A stronger currency means lower import costs. It eases inflation. It improves the lives of ordinary Ghanaians.
It does to make you rich. It does to make you rich. And the white people say, how dare you, niggas? What are you doing? You better get back to being poor and backward. See, don't mind Japan or China's currency going to black people? Oh no. You're destroying the rule that we created. Right on top, black on bottom. Go ahead, Joe.
The IMF says it's not good. Imagine that. When African currencies collapse, the IMF lectures about structural reform. But when an African nation succeeds, suddenly there's a problem. Dr. Arikana was right. And for speaking this truth, she was silenced, sanctioned, and removed. But the truth remains. The global financial system was never designed for Africa to win. And Ghana's situation is proof. The IMF didn't stop at accusations. They went further, warning Ghana to stop manipulating the market and to let the so-called free market decide the strength of the cedi. And here's the twist. Some Ghanaian officials echoed the IMF's words. They claimed the currency's rise wasn't real, that it was just the Bank of Ghana flooding the economy with money. But ask yourself, why does the IMF care so much about Ghana's success? Isn't its mission to help nations stabilize their economies? Then why criticize Ghana for taking steps to strengthen its currency? How does that make sense? The answer is simple and uncomfortable. This is yet another sign that these Western-led institutions were never designed to see Africa succeed. Dr. Arikana said it best. The success of the IMF and World Bank depends on the failure of African economies. And if you doubt that, look at the track record. Decades of IMF programs in Africa, structural adjustments, austerity measures, endless loans. And what do we have to show for it? Crippling debt, collapsed industries, weak currencies. Not one IMF-driven policy has delivered true economic freedom for Africa. Not one. So why the outrage when Ghana finally breaks free, even for a moment, and proves it can succeed on its own terms?
Is the IMF and the World Bank for Africa the last 70 years they create that fake shit? Why is Africa still underdeveloped when all the resources are in Africa? This is one question that can be asked the motherfucker. Okay, Africa's got all the resources, right? I'm not crazy. That's right? Yes, it is. Okay, 70 years of this faking scam. Right? Controlled by the cats with them fucking hats. Why? In 70 years, okay, we're going to say, how did China become developed? China was more backward, more fucked up than any African country. Kenya, Ghana, fucking Nigeria, 70 years ago. This is a fact, right? Yes, Keith, I know it's a fact. Okay. How is China developed today? Because they don't have the resources. And Africa's not, where the resources are there. You know, there's certain tradition things sometimes the Africans didn't do right. Corruption, nothing. These institutions are fake and they're scams to make sure Africa never develops. That's the truth. Because you can't show me 70 years where China's all impoverished and fucked up. It's a fact. And now you got Chinese in Africa telling Africans what to do. If this wasn't a scam to begin with. But go ahead, Joby.
Because a strong, independent Africa threatens the very system that keeps these institutions alive. And that's the truth they don't want you to hear. To understand why Ghana's current success matters so much, let's rewind for a moment. Under the previous administration of Nana Akufo-Addo, the Ghanaian economy collapsed and ordinary citizens bore the brunt of a crisis that many economists called the worst in decades. This was the bleeding economy President John Mahama inherited, a nation drowning in debt and despair. And the first order of business? To stop the bleeding.
We also have to go back and understand John Mahama was very corrupt, and the moment actually when he was vying for the presidential seat, none of his corrupt files could be found. They erased everything because I couldn't find anything. But he's involved in corruption. So this is nothing to do with even just Nana Akufo-Addo. He was corrupt too. So additionally, we need to be careful because I don't know his intentions. This could be literally maybe a way of them getting closer to their alliance.
Of course. That's what I said. Of course, Joby.
If he really wants to change Ghana, I'm still yet to see. This bluffing and not doing is always something else.
In a bold move to ease the suffering of millions, Mahama's administration made a game-changing announcement. The scrapping of several countries.
They ain't changed Ghana enough to have Miss Trudy have her baby there.
God damn. Listen, you're crazy.
Controversial taxes imposed during the COVID era by the former government, primarily to meet IMF loan conditions. These weren't just any taxes. They were taxes that hit the average Ghanaian hard, like the 1% levy on mobile money transfers and a VAT on motor vehicle insurance. Both gone. While presenting the 2025 economic budget, Finance Minister Cassiel Ato-Forson explained why this step was necessary. We inherited an economy in deep crisis, weighed down by debt and beset by massive fiscal challenges, arrears, energy sector shortfalls, and risks from the cocoa and financial sectors. In simple terms, Ghana was broke, battered, and bruised, and the IMF's prescription, those so-called reforms, only made the pain worse. But now, for the first time in years, Ghana is fighting back on its own terms. Of course, removing these taxes comes with its own challenges. With an economy already bleeding from debt mismanagement and financing shortfalls, critics are asking, how will the government make up for the lost revenue? The answer from Mahama's administration is simple. Ghanaians cannot keep carrying this weight. Inflation is soaring. The cedi has been battered, and families are struggling to survive. Removing these taxes, they argue, will ease the burden on households, put more money in people's pockets, and give businesses the breathing space they desperately need. As Finance Minister Cassiel Ato-Forson told lawmakers in Accra, the removal of these taxes will ease the burden on households and improve disposable incomes. In addition, it will support business growth. And the cuts didn't stop there. Alongside the mobile money levy and vehicle insurance VAT, the government scrapped a 10% tax on lottery winnings, an emission levy on vehicles and industries, and a 1.5% tax on unprocessed gold from small-scale miners. But here's where the story gets really interesting. These taxes weren't random. They were introduced by Akufo-Addo's administration for one reason, to satisfy the conditions of an IMF bailout. That bailout, a $3 billion loan secured in 2023. Now pause and think about this. What did that loan actually achieve?
Nothing.
Did it transform Ghana's economy?
No.
Did it reduce poverty? Did it create jobs? No. All it did was push Ghana deeper into debt, while ordinary citizens paid the price through suffocating taxes. This is the dark truth about IMF prescriptions. They promise stability, they deliver dependency, and Ghana's experience. Thankfully, there's a glimmer of hope. Ghana's finance minister recently stood before parliament with a bold.
I think literally we have to go back to understanding the rules of the IMF and the World Bank again. Like the moment you understand that as a leader, you're going to be very quick to walk away from this organization and not make deals with them, because the currency is backed by nothing, completely nothing. So where do they get the resources of what's, keeps them moving? Because if you look again, Europe, it's a poor ass nation, literally poor ass continent of its own, poor ass people didn't know how to eat, how to bathe, shit on themselves. Now you come to a civilized place and now you want to take control of everything. So we need to understand the rules and the laws of the IMF and the World Bank. If you need to become a leader, you have to understand that. You have to, again, go back to understanding if it's your country you're taking over, go back to the tactics the previous leaders have been using and see what you can do different. If it's the IMF that has kept us stagnant, walk away from it. If we have, the fake independence, let's claim now the true independence. And we have to do that by completely, again, walking away from these organizations. You have to be prepared. You can't just talk and not be prepared, because again, personally, I feel like it's very unfair. As much as the Alliance Sahel state is willing to help,
you ask yourself what Joe be saying. Why is the I'm sorry, Joe. Let me say this real quick. Sorry about that. Why is the IMF and Burkina Faso begging them to take loans? They're not going to need any loans. You keep those. Why is the IMF begging for Burkina Faso to take their goofy loans? Because it's to put you in debt, to keep you fucked up.
Yeah,
so we don't need none of your loans. Go ahead, Joe.
There's no way someone is going to serve you food and then you still expect them to feed you. So African countries, I think, again, Ibrahim Traore has already set the tone. He has already prepared literally the whole meal. So when it comes to us eating, we have to be careful of how we're going to be feeding on this food, because we can't keep on depending on someone else to cook. We have to figure out how we're going to cook as well. And I mean, that is by, again, you can't just burden everything on the Alliance Sahel state. Well, for the longest time, we've had that choice. And when this man chose to stand alone, nobody backed him up, literally. Most of the countries, including Ghana itself, and when Nana Akufo was there.
He was still there. Hey, covered as a puppet. Hey, white daddy, you see what they're doing in Burkina Faso? What they're doing, they're going against your rule, white daddy.
Not gonna cook, serve you, and still feed you. I feel like you need to understand how to cook as well. So these are the African countries that want to collaborate with the Alliance Sahel state. What is the strategy of you, apart from you just talking? You can't, for again, as much as we need that strong military, with unity as as Africa, you can't again keep on going knocking at your neighbor's door asking for salt every day. When are you gonna buy your salt? And I feel like that's how simple, explainable it is. But have yourselves a beautiful, amazing rest part of your morning. That has been my time with you guys. Iwaton is coming back with a conversation, so ensure you tune in and see what she's going to be talking about.
I thought you will. How the airtime came to work today, Joey?
She is at work.
Oh, Somali said she wasn't going to come to work.